Welcome to this week's Bulletin of Engineering Information from the IBA. The Radio Data System, R.D.S, and once again we take to the road to explore some of the benefits for the motorist. Also today, the latest on spectrum radio and the problems on 558 kHz. In transmitter news, special announcements for established stations, and with details of one new television relay, Redbrook in Gloucestershire. But first, the radio data system. 3 weeks ago, we looked at the theory of R.D.S. Today, we see it working in practice.
Good morning, Roadwatch. The M25 in Surrey. Delays due to an earlier minor accident. Delays on the M25 clockwise junctions 10 to 12, the A3 and M3 exits, due to an earlier minor accident which has been cleared and not helped by the roadworks at junction 12. Lovely, thank you very much indeed. Thanks, bye-bye.
Kenneth Clark talking just a few minutes ago to LBC radio reporter Julie Benson. We'll have more on that big story for you after the London news at 8:30, but coming up before that, the main sports items of the morning, and of course we'll be crossing to find out how London's traffic is moving, or not as the case may be, from the AA Roadwatch. We've got a most unusual story for you from London's Theatreland. But in a couple of minutes, we'll be catching up on the very latest from the rush hour by hearing from the AA Roadwatch.
LBC Radio.
Hello, Marianne.
Something on the M25?
Yes, it's on the clockwise carriageway here, junctions 10 to 12. There's an earlier accident. It's been cleared, but still some delays there.
Right, okay, leaves that for my next LBC. Thanks.
So a pretty good morning so far on British Rail and the Underground, but how about the thousands of people at this moment in their cars? Well, for them, let's find out the situation from the AA Roadwatch.
Delays for drivers on Clapham High Street because of a lorry which has got stuck under the bridge. It's stuck southbound at the junction with Gordon Road, but is causing delays for drivers in both directions. A broken down vehicle is also causing problems, this time in Bow on the A11 Mile End Road, and the car is broken down outside the tube station. And out of town there are delays on the M25 this morning. And finally, at the Dartford Tunnel, we're told there's a 2-mile queue southbound. Northbound traffic is moving, but it is a little bit heavy. Marianne Randall, AA Roadwatch.
Coming up next on LBC Radio, the major national and international headlines.
The representative from Motorway to contact.
Please contact the agency.
Hello, John.
Hi, Bruce.
Good to see you again. I'm fine, thanks. Well, I like your timing, John. I was only waiting a couple of minutes there.
Well, in fact, I could have been delayed a lot longer if it hadn't been for the travel information on R.D.S. There were terrific queues on the M25. I was able to avoid them. I was listening to my cassette at the time, and the radio switched me via R.D.S. onto the traffic information.
This R.D.S. system, John, must be a bit cleverer than I imagined, because I always thought it was just an auto-tuning aid for car radios, but it's obviously a bit more than that.
Yes, auto-tuning is one of the major features, and it's particularly useful for national transmitters. It gives you the facility to drive from one end of the country to the other without ever retuning your radio.
But that can't do much for local radio when you've only got one transmitter usually on each service.
Well, we do use it where we can in local radio, Bruce. It does provide that facility, but there is a new development which enables local radio to make yet further use of it by linking stations together.
So when you're driving into a new area, you automatically get suddenly hopped onto the new station, do you?
Yes, that's the general principle. We just turn the radio up now. We can hear LBC.
And it won't actually switch us to county sound unless we want it to.
Oh no, Bruce. One of the important things about R.D.S. is that if you're changing between programs that are dissimilar, it has to be a manual operation.
Right.
Automatic operations only permitted between transmitters which are carrying the same program.
Right.
If I just press a button here on this radio, short pause, and we're listening to county sound.
Great.
What has happened, of course, is that the radio has been told where to look for the frequency of county sound, and on the push of a single button, it is retuned. So as we move up the country, similar to a national station, our local stations are able to link each other together if they so wish.
So the brain in the receiver, and in fact does all the thinking for you to save a bit of brain power in your head.
I find that's a great help when you're driving. It allows you that much more concentration on the road.
Yes. Well, perhaps we'll get to Guildford on time after all.
Yes, I hope so, Bruce.
Bruce Randall there talking to John Wingham, one of the IBA's radio project engineers. And staying with radio, a temporary solution has been found to the problem of the new incremental station, Spectrum Radio, and the interference from Radio Caroline. In agreement with the DTI, an additional medium wave frequency, 990 kHz, has been allocated on a temporary basis. This is to overcome the problems caused by offshore pirate Radio Caroline's continued unauthorized use of 558 kHz. A temporary site has been found for this 990 kHz transmission, and it will be brought into use as soon as possible. Spectrum will transmit on both frequencies until the 558 channel is clear. The annual exhibition and seminars of the Confederation of Aerial Industries takes place this week at the IBA headquarters in London. There'll be all the main aerial and accessory manufacturers displaying their latest products, and seminar talks by Megasat, BSB, Sky, Antiference, Televez and Triax. Also open forum panels of experts from the broadcasters and cable manufacturers. All inquiries should go to the CAI on 071 828 0625, and we hope to be there with a camera crew reporting on the main talking points. Special announcements now, and we start once again in Lancashire, where ITV and Channel 4 from Winter Hill continue on reduced power during aerial replacement work. At Keelylang Hill in the Orkneys, ITV will be on reduced power until about Thursday week for aerial maintenance. The work at Caldbeck, which we mentioned last week is due to begin yesterday, has now been cancelled for the time being. At nearby Cambret Hill, electrical work this morning means an interruption between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. today. Huntshaw Cross in Devon will be off today for an hour between 9 a.m. and midday for aerial feeder maintenance. Meanwhile, the Perth relay in the east of Scotland is due off between 6 a.m. and midday for 3 days between now and Friday for weather-dependent mast maintenance. In North Wales, Arfon is liable to short breaks this morning as the station will be connected to a generator between 9 and 12. In Guernsey, Torteval will be liable to a short break today between 6 a.m. and midday for a mast inspection. Tomorrow, the Aldborough relay in Suffolk will be off from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. This is for an aerial overhaul. Also tomorrow, 2 relays will be off due to electricity board work. Machonsleth in Mid Wales between 9:30 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. and Heel in Torquay between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. On Thursday, the Bampton relay in Devon is due for a short break, sometime between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. for electrical work. And on Friday morning, the Wivenhoe Park relay at Colchester is due off between 8:30 and 12:30 for an aerial overhaul. New television relays next, and in Gloucestershire, a station for Redbrook is in the process of being built and is due on the air later this month. It's for about 320 people, most of whom have been depending on a self-help active deflector. Others have been receiving very poor signals from Ridge Hill or Clearwell. Viewers should be encouraged to change to their new relay as soon as possible after it opens so that the self-help transmitter can be switched off to minimise the risk of interference. HTV West will be the regional ITV service on Channel 42 with Channel 4 on 52. Aerials will need to be Group B and vertically polarised. That's Redbrook on the England-Wales border southeast of Monmouth, due later this month. And that's all for this week, but do get in touch if you have any technical queries on independent broadcasting. Our address is Engineering Information, Independent Broadcasting Authority, Crawley Court, Winchester, Hampshire, SO21 2QA. Our telephone number is Winchester, that's 0962 822 444. Office hours are 8:30 to 4:30, at other times there's an answering machine. We hope you'll set your VCRs for next Tuesday morning at 5:45, when we hope to have the first of 2 reports from the CAI aerial exhibition. Until then, from me, Adrian Good, goodbye from Crawley Court.